signature, and welcome to our weekly office meeting. And to start things off, we need some booze. Sherry, come on up.
Okay, so last week, $130, you guys. We want to get over 1,000 this time. Yeah, $130. Isn't that great? So it's $1 a line. I'll be collecting. You get to buy a line. We'll do a number scramble at the end. This is for the American Cancer Society Breast Walk, Making Strides, which is on October 30th at Red Rock. And signature, we will have shirts. We will start at 7:30. We meet at Lazy Dogs. We do a great, it's a 2.5 mile walk, right? It's really simple. Anyway, that's for the walk, but we're doing all kinds of fundraisers.
Speak for yourself, I can't do a half a walk.
Okay, well, Tom can't do a half block, but you can sit in the parking lot and watch all the. We're also having a bake sale on October the 11th, bake sale. And we are working on a really great luncheon fundraiser. I haven't gotten any details yet, but keep your eyes open. And all of this, of course, goes to American Cancer Society for Breast Cancer Making Strides. So $1 a line, guys. Come and see me.
Okay, thank you, Sherry. Okay, any wants and needs? Anybody? Anybody have a house to sell? Anybody have a buyer that can't buy their house?
The lawyer's still chewing.
Good morning. So I have a listing in North Las Vegas that just went live. It's 3-bedroom, 1972 square feet, listed for $415 on a quarter-acre lot, and the owner is willing to entertain. Owner will carry too.
Where is it?
Owner will carry.
Like, I've got this Scott Street, but it's stacked.
I'll pull it up.
Oh, that's all I can do not to go into my little lecture about owner will carry, so I'll pass because this is one to me.
Hi everyone. Okay, so we have a duplex on the market on the east side. It's got a obviously it's a duplex, so it's got two occupied, tenant occupied rooms, I guess, bedrooms. And it's actually has an entire garage built in the backyard. So it's 14 feet ceilings, it has 1,500 square foot floors, and it's good for storage, garage. It's a really, really nice property, and it's at $490. Then we have a sixplex on the market down on the down towards Fremont. So if you're interested in that, that also is 100% occupied. Should I can, and then we also have because I got to get these two sold. So these two are really, really important. So we have the one on Speedwell Cavern on Rainbow and Warm Springs. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-story. Solar must be assumed, and there are rental restrictions. So if you have a primary, that particular property is listed at $396. So it's under comps, so it's a really good value. And the last one is a single-story, 2-bedroom on Henderson. That one is $364, and that is a really good one for if you want, or if you need a rental.
Okay, thank you, Roy. Anybody? Oh,
yeah.
coming. I'll get there.
Good morning, everyone. Well, damn, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Goodness gracious. So I have a couple of needs, and I would be in the front of the room. That's my personality. So sorry for that. I was in the back, but now I'm in the front. I got the microphone. Haha, Janet. So my 1.3 million has now been reduced to 1,150,000. 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, single story, off of the 215 in Jones. That's been reduced as of last night. Also, I do about condo off of Rainbow in Cheyenne. That's been reduced to about 199,900. 2 beds, 2 baths, about 1,000 square foot living area. And then also I do have a listing on the east side of town at 460, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2,000 square feet living area. Yes.
Rental restrictions on the condo?
No, that whole complex is like rented.
You got an address? Or just condo?
Yes, 2 bed, 2 bath, about 997 square feet living area.
Address.
Address. Oh, sorry, address. I'm saying all this crap about addresses. So the multi-million one is 7386 Peace Rose.
Just the condo.
Just the condo? Okay, 2700 Rainbow Boulevard, Unit 2086. Now another need that we do have, you guys, so Victoria and I are organizing our military appreciation. We're having a stand there on October 22nd, and we do need some volunteers to show face at our signature booth that we'll also have alongside with Prosperity Lending. So I will have a sign-up sheet at my office, which is like right there, very soon. So if you could also just, dedicate some of your time to our veterans. We're gonna have some great giveaways, you guys. And it's just a great way to show face with the people who actually helped, keep our country alive. So thank you guys so much and enjoy the rest of your meeting.
Okay, Daryl, thank you. Trish.
About 2 weeks away. I have one going to be coming up as soon as the grandson leaves. We're going to do the pictures. Inspirata 1.15. It's beautiful. It's in a gated section of Inspirata. It's almost 3,500 square feet. Gorgeous resort style pool, built-in barbecue, everything. The house is meticulous. It's the modern style. So that'll in the gated section. So
What's the community? Is it a Scala?
it's the sister to Escala. It's Montero Altera. So it's not in Escala, but it's a smaller version of an Escala. So that'll be coming up just about 2 weeks. And then I'll have one up in Lynbrook. They're putting in all new flooring, paint, everything. It's gonna be the floors. We don't have an exact price yet. Single story, which one of the largest lots in Lynbrook, if you know it. It's up north, it's gated, and I think the lot's about, I wanna say 8,000 something square feet. It's big.
Okay, thank you, Trish.
Keep in touch.
Hey everybody, good morning. Tad Dillard. I have a buyer looking for a investment property, single family, up to 450, 3 to 4 bedrooms with a pool. Okay. Or either he's looking for a apartment or apartments that will allow him to do Airbnb. Okay. And also I have a buyer that also looking to expand their restaurant in either Centennial and also in the Green Valley area. So.
Okay, thank you, Tad. Anybody else? Any wants? Any needs? Nothing? Oh, Todd.
All right, so 3 new listings coming this week, all going live Thursday, so in 2 days. We've got a 1-bedroom townhouse that's completely refurbished inside in Henderson for $200,000. We have a horse property, which is Warm Springs in Decatur. I don't know if you know where there's like a horse park. Like you guys take your dogs to the dog park. Well, they have a horse park over there. It's quite large. This property actually backs up to that horse park. It's 1 acre. It's a single-story home, about 2,000 square foot that's been semi-remodeled. So anybody that has horses or looking for horses, this is gonna be a good property. It'll come on the market at about $900,000. And then we have another one coming on, which is between Rainbow and Jones and the 215 and Russell, half-acre lot in a 4-house cul-de-sac, resort-style backyard, big pool, big outdoor kitchen. This brand new. They just got finished with it. It'll go on the market also at about $850. All those will hit live Thursday.
Inventory's picking up. Sherry?
I have a condo, 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo in the Flamingo, Durango area, right off the university. It's called the Fiesta Complex. Familiar with that? It's a little less than 900 square feet. He just lowered it 5,000, 260. He wants 264. It's real cute. It's real beautiful place.
Okay. The only other announcement that I have is Monday is Labor Day. And all signature offices will be closed. However, the next day, Tuesday, we will have our regular office meeting and a new agent orientation. So don't forget to show up for that. And so now it's my great pleasure to introduce to you Shelley with Prosperity Lending.
All right, happy Tuesday, everyone.
Happy
Is the coffee machine working? No? Happy Tuesday, everyone. Happy Tuesday. All right, you guys wondering what my cool dress is? How many of you guys want to have fun this next football season? I don't know how many weeks football is. You can tell, huh? All right, so I'm going to bring up our team. 18 weeks? 18 weeks? Okay, let's go. We're bring up Jace, all the Prosperity Lending team. Let's go. Hustle in!
They want you to give your ass up there. I mean.
Yes, that would be everyone. Yeah. Gabby, Myra. Okay, we're having a contest. So whether you like football or not, oh, that's really good. This is why we're wearing our cool jerseys. Who's your team? Tom Brady. So is are you a Patriots fan or are you Buccaneers? Buccaneers. Who's a Buccaneers fan?
On purpose?
Nobody? All right, Gabby, who's your team? Raiders. Who's a Raiders fan? Okay. Tony in the back, who's your soccer football team?
Premier League. New England.
New England.
Has to be.
Jason is very outspoken with his Niners.
That's correct.
Yes. Anybody recognize Jets? Jets, Jets, Jets. All right. So I borrowed this from my husband. Okay, so here's a contest. So, very similar to parlay cards, although you're not going to have to put any money down to play. The contest is going to be this. How many of you have your signature app downloaded? Awesome. If you do not, for those of you at home, if you do not, you can play too. But you just have to go to Savannah. Savannah is the new front desk person at the Spanish Ridge or Southwest office, I think is what we're going to be calling it. So the Spanish Ridge office, make sure you get with her so that she can get you the app. Every Tuesday, we're going to send you out you're going to get an actual prosperity lending game card, which is going to have the week's games on it, right? So games usually start on what day? Thursday. And every once in a while we have a Monday.
Every week. We have one every week.
You guys are good. All right. Okay, so you're going to download the app. So one of us Prosperity Lending Loan Officers, all of us are actually inside of the app. So you're going to connect with one of your Prosperity Lending Loan Officers. Every Tuesday, we're going to send you, or you're going to have access to the actual play card. You're going to pick every single one of the games of the winner, or the people that you think are going to win the games. Okay, so it needs to be in by what time? Thursday at noon. Sorry, Jason.
Points without points.
This is with whoever wins, no points. Yeah, well, whoever wins, right? Isn't that how you know who wins? Okay. Clearly. All right, and then we're going to announce the winners on the next Tuesday, and then we're going to give you the next play card that day. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you win? Anybody want to know what we're doing this for? Mike Ferry, no. Raiders shots, yeah. I gotta remember that. Okay, so every week we're gonna give out for the first place winner $25 gift card, second place winner $15 gift card, and third place winner $10 gift card. How many weeks is this? 18 weeks. So one person, you can win at least every single week, or you can win 1 week, or
Plus the playoffs.
plus the playoffs. Okay, we'll take it all the way into the playoffs. What's the grand prize? So it does make sense for you to try as many times. We're going to do it by points, right? All play cards that come in, we'll calculate all the points. Grand prize is going to be a $250 Visa card. Okay, who's excited about that? Yay! All right, any questions? Clear. Everybody clear. Sherwin.
Where is the gift card to?
It's Visa gift card. Wherever you would like to use it. Wherever Visa can be used. Okay. All right. So everybody knows who's our Prosperity Lending Loan Officers. Myself, Jason Magora, Myra Talley, Gabby Dela Cruz, Tony Asquith. Are you in as Anthony Asquith inside the app?
I don't know. Check the app.
Okay, and then Nikita Burdick is in there, and also Beverly Peters. So make sure that you connect with your Prosperity Lending Loan Officer. Make sure you show up next week so we can give you guys all of the information for the first game, or for the first card, and then we'll get everything started. What's that? He's under Tony? Tony Asquith. Tony Asquith here. All right? Give it up for the Prosperity Lending team. Thanks, guys. Tom Brady. Okay. So, how many of you have heard of Tom Ferry?
Yeah.
How many of you have heard of Mike Ferry? Okay, 50-50. Okay. So last week, Tom Ferry had his Success Summit. It was actually in Dallas. There are a few of us that actually did the live stream. And so I'm going to bring up a couple of, I'm going to bring them up to talk a little bit about their takeaways. So please welcome Tyson Roberts. Galetta, he's gonna come off of the video. Yeah, make sure you put yourself right up there front and center there, Beta. Beta Galetta, give it up for Beta. And then Myra Talley. Come on, Myra. Give it up for Myra. Okay, so why are we gonna share this information with you guys?
Because it's good.
Because it is good, actually. And we were there for how long? 3 days?
Yes.
3 days. It was 7 in the morning till about 3 in the afternoon every single day. And so we're going to share our best takeaways from it, but I think the best way to do it is to start it off by day. So you have realtor, lender, and marketing director that all participate in this. You guys are going to get a wealth of information and individual perspectives from their takeaways, okay? So, day one, you want to start off, Tyson?
I guess I will.
Over.
Biggest takeaway?
Yeah.
So from day one, my biggest takeaway would have to be, they brought on a thing called like Tom X, and they had a couple of different people that did coaching with them come and cover different topics. One did a listing presentation that was pretty good, but the one that stood out to me was, it was called CMA a day. And basically, no matter what this is in this guy's schedule, he committed to doing one CMA a day and dropping it off at past clients, offering the service to everyone. So he set, I think it was like 100 appointments in the span of like 9 months, just offering the service to everyone. Hey, I'd just like to do a CMA for you, and try to do one every single day. So that was my biggest takeaway, and I actually went and did it last night. So I'm gonna start implementing that and seeing how that goes.
So tell us a little bit about what that was for your CMA day. How did you do that yesterday?
So I don't know how you guys prep your CMAs, but we have 2 resources actually with the MLS that will pretty much do it for you. We have RPR, which is Real Property Resource, and then Remind. I know a lot of people aren't big fans of Remind, but there's actually a section outside of the docs where you can do a like 3-page CMA, and it's super quick and it's pretty accurate. And then RPR prints out like a 30-page seller report with an estimated value. And that was one thing too. He never gave them a direct value. It was always the estimated range.
Awesome. Any questions on CMA day?
Excuse me, and you're
Yeah.
talking about hand delivering them?
Yes. So setting an appointment to hand deliver it and discuss it, like annual equity review, he also called it, and then offered that to outside his clients. But yes, in person.
All right, Myra, what do you got for day one? I'm gonna go change our news feed. Okay, go ahead, it's Beta.
So day one, what I took away was Jasper is an app, an AI writer app, more for copywriting. So they really emphasize that blogging is a key for SEO. If you notice a lot for social media posts, the captions are getting a lot longer, and they are recognizing that as blogging. So using this Jasper app, you would input keywords about your post, whatever you're going to be talking about, and it will curate a full-on script and or content for your email, newsletter, or for your captions for your social media. And this is something we're going to be implementing for Signature Media as well.
Awesome. So this is the guest speaker, or the Tom X speakers here that are on the screen. So something that we went through in the very beginning was the slide deck. So this was how they did a presentation, right? A listing presentation. How many of you have ever seen or done or have this in your arsenal for a listing presentation? Sherwin? What does it look like for you?
It looks like the one that was presented since 2005 from Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah, it doesn't look like this?
Very similar, yeah.
And so what do you do when you present that?
Normally you email it ahead of time so they know exactly what you're going to be presenting.
Uh-huh.
If they still want to go ahead and see it, and then you just have to print it out in a nice little folder, and then you just present it.
So they actually did a listing presentation, and this was part of their listing presentation. It was to go through every single one of these slide decks. Now, I mean, I think you could do it easier on a laptop or on your little iPad too, right, as you show this. But she pulled it out of this beautiful box, and she had all of these laminated, and she went in chronological order over all of the benefits of what it would look like to list with her and her team, which I thought was kind of cool. Let's see. This was another thing I thought was interesting. The annual equity review, which is different than your CMA, right? How many of you do an annual review with your clients? One? What does yours look like, Raya?
So mine is just so basically, it's like an equity report, just like how they did this year. Our PR helps a lot because it tells you how much has gone up and down. So I try to sit with them and go over everything.
What does the process look like to get to them first?
To get the appointment? Yeah. Oh, I just call them and say it's time for your annual report, your annual equity report.
So
Review.
one thing that they talked about was looking into your phone. So if you guys would just jump in your phones right now, how many contacts do you guys have on your phones? Who's going to be that? I'll give you guys a $25 gift card for the #1 contacts on your phone. Who has the most contacts? Do you guys know how to check? Stephanie?
How do you find out?
Go to your contacts, and inside of your contacts, I think for iPhone it's a little different, right?
You scroll all the way to the bottom on an iPhone of your contacts, you can see the number.
1,065.
1,065. Who can beat 1,000?
1,034.
1430. Whoa, Angela, what do you have? 2,512. Can anybody that? Go to once. Anyway, 2,512. Going once?
Are we assuming just phone numbers, right?
Yeah.
Do they have to be alive?
So imagine if, now maybe one of them is your parents, you could use them as practice, but imagine if you reached out to, what do you have, Pilar?
5,000. Dang it.
Oh, Sherry? What do you have? 5,067. Sherry, KK, what do you have?
5,095.
Whoa! All right, KK is the winner. Woo!
But you have to email her your contacts.
Yeah, you know. So what they talked about was looking into your database of contacts. Of your 5,095 people you have on your phone, could it be reasonable that you could call one of them and talk about getting an annual review on their home or to do a CMA on their property? Yes, is the answer. Good answer. What do you guys think about that? Yeah. So this was the annual equity review. Any thoughts on this from Tyson? Mark?
So the one thing that was interesting about this is they kind of led off is they didn't go as much into the annual equity review, but they said, could you set 100 appointments from now to the end of the year or now in the next 12 months? And then it seems kind of impossible, right? But back to that, it's easy. Just pick up your phone, call people, and say, hey, do you want an annual equity review? And then you could get 100 appointments from that easily, especially from some of the lists you guys have.
Yeah. Even lending side, right? All of our loans, that's something that we talk about doing. Beta, thoughts? Okay.
Because we can include rate as well.
Right.
It would be time for refinancing or not, so just an extra touch.
Exactly. Okay, what about this? Do you guys remember this? What does that look like? So this was their concierge service. So the first picture on the left was what their actual house looked like.
Wow.
The second picture was what their house looked like without all the boxes and stuff inside of it. The third picture is what they did to stage that home. And so one thought was, what do you think that would cost to get from there to there?
9,340.
I know, right? But what do you think in a seller's mind what that would cost for them?
Probably a lot more.
A lot more. Yeah. So as we're talking to your listings or your sellers today, could this be something you think about a concierge service? Because you can see the cost of what it really cost them out the door. But what was also cool about this was this. That was their postcard that they sent out to their farm. What impact do you think that would have on other homeowners looking to sell who may have that same type of living room setup with all the boxes and stuff inside of it? Hopefully not, but.
Definitely appealing to the hoarders.
Yes, definitely appealing to the hoarders. But I think it also, this showcased how they were able to turn $9,300 over into it gave them $100,000 more in selling. Any feedback on that, guys?
Yes. Sorry, I didn't mean to hog the mic, but I do have something. So when they were bringing this up, it was pretty interesting as they were talking about postcards and mailers. And one of the things they did was a lot of them said, stop doing the just listed, just sold. Those are great, but what they've done instead is case studies. So they've created a story about their seller, and they've gotten way better feedback of people calling in. And I don't know if she's going to show up too, but one guy had a brilliant idea with the postcard that was super simple that turned into like 9 listings.
Was it the orange one?
Yes.
Yeah, I do have it in here, I just don't know where it's at. Yeah, I'll show you, yeah. So we'll share that one later in the slide. It went to HomeBot, right? It was directed directly to HomeBot. It was actually a pretty cool website. Okay. This was something I think was talked about a lot. Would you agree? What's your why? Like every single one of the speakers, they actually came up and they want you to identify what is your why. It seems so simple, right? Like, why are we doing this? Anyone? Lots of stuff. But when we think of help other people, quality of life, at the background of everything that's happening, this was like the focus point of a lot of the speakers who were talking, which I thought was unique because here we're thinking we're going to get a lot of sales techniques and things like that, which we did, but this was actually a big speaking point, was what is your why? Especially as we head into this market shift that we're in today. You want to talk about this one? F your mood?
Yeah, so this was the guy they brought up that made a plan to climb Mount Everest. And what he related to was, you know, the steps on his journey on the way up the mountain, and this whole journey he did over 10 years after he decided to climb Mount Everest. And then he kind of turned it into, back into the real estate side, because he's also a realtor. He says, do you think I wanted to go from, you know, say camp 1 to camp 2, when my feet were frozen and everything? Like, you think I want to come into the office and make calls, prospect, do those kind of things, door knock? No, but it's choose your heart. Exactly, you could have the heart of, you know, doing the consistent prospecting, making your calls, or you could have the heart of being broke.
Are you ever really going to be in the mood to just pick up that phone and just dial random numbers? No, not necessarily. You're going to wake up and be like, all right, today I'm going to dial all these numbers. But the outcome from dialing those numbers will give you the results you want. So you're never going to be in that specific mood. Even with working out, you wake up and it's so easy to be like, you know, I'm not feeling it today. Getting there is the hardest part. Once you're there, you never regret the workout.
That's where the why comes in from the previous slide, so really honing into your why in every aspect of your life. So.
He actually shared a story. So as he was climbing up Mount Everest, they first started to walk out and his foot started to hurt, right? And so the immediate thought was he's getting frostbite. So he's like walking, and I forgot who, was it his coach or his whatever mentor, the Sherpa. The Sherpa said, take off your shoe. So he was literally going to stop because he's like, I got frostbite, I can't do this. And he's like, stop and take off your shoe. So they took off the shoe. Guess what happened? His sock was rolled up, bunched up at the bottom of the shoe. So it wasn't even frostbite. It was because the sock had gotten bunched up at the bottom of the shoe. But in his head, he thought, oh, I'm about to die. I got frostbite on my foot. I have to stop. So how many times or where else in life are we having those same thoughts, right? Oh, this is too hard to pick up the phone. Oh, I can go ahead and sleep in another 10 minutes. Oh, I don't need a prospect because I can prospect tomorrow. Or I'll just catch it up on another day. Or something that seems so hard is really not what you see. It's just a bunched up sock. All right. This was something that, you don't like that analogy? SOPs. You want to talk about the SOPs?
Yeah. So this was another big takeaway I had from, they had this lady that they brought on and she has SOPs, so standard operating procedures for everything in her business, and it's all written down. If she takes a listing, there's a list she follows. If she takes a buyer, there's a list she follows. She has standard operating procedures laid out for everything, so her business is seamless. She knows what to do at any time.
Well, basically just that. Just set up your process. What does your process look like when you take a listing? What does your process look like when you're gonna, go to a presentation and stuff like that? You don't want to show up. I know one of the things they said. I'm not sure if she was the one that said it or not, but always plan ahead. Never wait to just know what you're gonna say that moment. Always know what you're gonna say beforehand.
Yep, and then letting the marketing marinate as far as for an open house. If you're going to do a video for an open house, make sure it's released a couple days before. No point of releasing a video the day of the open house. So timing it, the strategy behind it, and having the systems in place.
Oh, yeah.
Let me just say, this is the number one most important thing that you can ever do in your business if you plan to ever have a team. Having your SOPs in place there's nothing, if you're gonna create a team or try to build a team, this is the number one thing that will cause it to be successful.
So one thing to look at here, if you see, so when I looked through the slides, she had 3 different things that she does. She had multiple slides, but look at all the different things they do before they even launch the listing, right? And then open houses are a big deal, right? How many of you do open houses on your listings today, or on other people's listings? Todd, you launch your listings on a specific day, and then you do like a mega open house. Are you still doing those?
Yes.
And how does that work? Does it look like this? So they invite 200 to 500 neighbors to an exclusive open house. They have a mega open house where they bring a food truck, face painter, make it fun and organic.
Yeah, so we don't do the food truck, but we do door knock at least 100 homes around. We do only list on Thursdays, so that we can do 2 weekend open houses in the first 10 days of being on the market, because the first 14 days of being on the market are the most important days. So we want to make sure we get 2 open houses in. So yeah, we have a standard procedure of when we list. Everybody in my team knows don't list anything except on a Thursday.
Awesome. That's a SOP, right? So you know that you start on a Thursday, and then you have your process for door knocking, and then you have a process for setting up your open houses. One thing I thought was kind of cool where it says do not have a sign-in sheet, have a game. Maybe one of the games would be like, hey, guess how much this house, or how many square foot the home is, or whatever the case is, rather than a sign-up sheet.
Ours is to sign up for dinner for 2.
You do giveaway.
Yeah, it's in the kitchen, it's not at the front door, it's away from wherever we are, so that people will give you the real phone number, because they can't win if they don't give you the real phone number.
That's awesome. So for those of you at home who didn't hear that, so Todd and his team, SOP for open houses is, they don't do a sign-up sheet, they do a enter to win sheet, and they do a giveaway, and you said phone number and email is on there. This is something else she went over, was what the ultimate launch was, when they listed, after, and then she does weekly updates to her seller. How many are you doing that, Roy? What does it look like?
Well, I do a video for them, just to kind of like talk to them like this, but then I also call them, because sometimes that doesn't work too, so I do both. But I found, that was something that I started doing back when the seller market was really good, and especially right now, because they feel like they're not getting as many people coming through, and their open houses aren't getting as many people coming through. So we have to show them that we talked about the sales meeting, we talked to them about, we did this marketing, I just paid this much for this kind of marketing. So I've been doing that, and it's been working out pretty good. I mean, I've talked to them a little longer. I've had one guy who keeps trying to, threaten me to let go of the listing because we're not getting anything. But because we've been doing these weekly check-ins, he's staying on every week.
That's awesome. You want to add on that? Anybody? All right.
Sorry, Todd does.
Todd.
So your weekly check-in with your seller should be on the same date at the same time every week. And that appointment should be set at the listing appointment. When you take the listing, you tell them, I will call you Wednesdays at 10 o'clock. We call all of our sellers on Wednesdays. So Wednesday is 10 o'clock is your slot. I'm going to call you. You don't have to answer if you don't want. I will leave a voicemail, and I will follow up with an email if we don't have an actual conversation. But that appointment should be set at the listing appointment.
That's awesome. And then how many of you send out your just sold postcards after the listing has closed? Angela, what do you do on yours?
I send out always just sold, but just listed, just sold in escrow. And then I try to do like a unique thing about it, highest confident neighborhood, sold in the next 9 days, just kind of a little change on it.
Clever way.
Usually it's in the neighborhood.
Awesome. So you farm it. This is saying quantity of 2,000. How many are you usually farming for? A couple hundred or?
About 200 each time.
Each time.
So I would say a few for each listing.
But every single listing, less than 1,000. Every single listing you're sending out a just listed and a just sold?
At least. Yeah.
At least. Okay, so that's your SOP on it. And in escrow? That's your SOP for your postcards, direct mailing. Awesome. All right, this was the wheelhouse. Do you guys remember this guy? So this was in growing a team, and the one thing that he talked about was the accountability factor. And I don't necessarily think it has to do with just being on a team and being the team lead. It has to do with each of us. The one thing I thought was important was singular focus. How many of us right now are like, what the heck are we going to do? The market has shifted. What am I going to do to change my business? Anybody else in that boat? And these little shiny objects keep popping up around us, and we're like, ooh, I can do that. Ooh, I can do that. Ooh, I can do that. And then you end up doing what?
None of it.
None of it. Yeah, so I thought it was really important to talk about singular focus.
So I just wanted to add on that, because one thing, I had a big realization going through this, and one of it was, we kind of get caught up in the things we think we should be doing, like, oh, this new lead system, or I should be doing this, I should be doing that. But some of the best people on here, they pick 3 to 4 things that are natural and automatic to them, and they do them to the best of their ability. And again, that was a key word, is natural and automatic. Like, I understand door knocking's the best way to go out and get business. That's not natural and automatic for me. I do it with my open houses, but I absolutely hate it. I'm sweating, it's 110 degrees, but I like open houses, I like internet leads, I like cold calling, so I excel at those 3.
You like cold calling?
I actually do, so.
Sick, dude.
You find a joy in it. So when I moved out here, the only people I knew were realtors, so I had to do something to find business, and the quickest way to talk to most people is cold calling. And then now I kind of turned it into a game. I didn't always like it. I didn't always enjoy it. I actually hated it, but it became more natural and automatic to have those conversations.
Anybody want to add to that? I would just say, pick the one thing that you're most passionate about or that you enjoy the most, and just do that. Because if you pick 5 different things and are doing it at 50%, you're not going to get as much of a return on it, because eventually you're just gonna like get bored of it and stop doing all 5 of those things.
So if you look at this postcard here, or slide here, so our training. So he does this for his team, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every single week. So for those of you who are running a team, this might be something you look to do where you're consistently in touch with your team today, right? The other thing for yourself is to think about how you can get yourself on a schedule to talk about different things inside of your business, right? To do the work inside of your business. That would be a standard operating procedure for yourself, not necessarily on listings, but something for yourself that every Monday you're going to do this, every Tuesday you're going to do this, every Wednesday you're going to call your listing agents, or you're going to call your sellers. Every Thursday you're going to do this, every Friday you're going to do this. How many of you guys have that today? Todd. What do you got, Todd? What do you do Monday? We know what you do Wednesday, but what do you do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday?
Well, we do our team meetings on Monday at 11. We spend about an hour talking about the market and what's going on. We then go to lunch for an hour together as a team, just to build team camaraderie. Wednesdays we call our sellers. Thursdays we put all of our new listings up. Fridays we door knock. Saturdays we do open houses. Sundays we try to take the day off if possible.
Love it. How many of you have that type of a setup, or would like to have that type of a setup? How many of you could see your business growing by being that structured? So this was one question they asked a lot. What if you decided to double your business over the next 16 months? What one thing could you do to actually do that? Did you want to share on what your one thing was?
Yeah, so he mentioned a couple of things that you could double, right? You could double your contacts and the people you talk to. You could double your conversion rate, those things. One thing I decided to do was double my conversations and the quality of those conversations. They pointed out, like, you shouldn't be just calling and doing your follow-up prospect and just say, hey, I was just calling to check in. Hey, I was just following up. Hey, you know what I mean? Call and have a reason to add some value, so that's what I did. I think of a way, even if I'm just printing off the front sheet of last month's stats and say, hey, the market's crazy, I just wanted to send this over to you. Is this still the best email? Hey, I'll call you tomorrow to follow up on any questions. So double the quality of conversations I'm having.
I would agree with that, double the conversations and the follow-up, but I also think as far as like the lending standpoint is trying to keep it as simple as possible. When we're talking about numbers, it's so easy to just be like, what? So try and kind of jot it down in a way that they can understand. That's not just, just like load jargon because people don't understand most of the time, so keeping it super simple.
Yeah, I think the best way to do that is to leverage yourself, either delegate tasks or leverage yourself through video. Reels are it right now. 3 to 4 times a week, 30 to 45 seconds a reel. That's the sweet spot right there.
So this was somebody who actually talked about arbitrage, where they do lead generation through like Zillow, Realtor.com, Boomtown, any of those. How many of you actually, that's one pillar of your business, is lead gen, buying online leads? So this was their actual, as she called it, lead flow, but it would be another standing operating procedure for herself, right? Inside of your business, do you have it clearly identified as to what happens when a lead comes in? How fast are you contacting them? What does it look like? What's the next step and how many times are you connecting with them? She actually wrote out, so this is just one part of it. I can share with you guys if you want to see what her like day 1 to day 21 is. But this is what her lead flow chart is that everybody on her team actually follows. And you'll see if it goes from one, if you can't get a hold of them, it flows to another area. If you can't get a hold of them, it goes to the trash, and then so on and so forth. Let's see. There's that postcard. I want to talk about that one.
Yes, so basically what he did is he actually started off with the all black postcard. So instead of the orange, it was all black. And in his state, you know, he put what was still required on the postcard. But he broke down the numbers and he just mass sent these out, EDDM, so every door direct mail. And I mean, you can just see right up there the conversion he got on. He actually got a little bit better than the black than the orange, but it was just something simple as a QR code that everybody knows how to use now. Check your home value here, and then that QR code's linked to HomeBot.
People are generally nosy. They think it's too good to be true. They think it's a scam or something. So,
How many of you know what EDDM is? Every door direct mailer, right? It's cheaper than doing like a farm when you're going to farm specific areas. It'll farm zip codes, it'll farm streets in a specific area, but it is a bulk mailing that you would do. So you can actually get, like he has 13 on his first and then 10,000. So I think when I had done this a long time ago, but it was, you know, like for the bulk side of it.
It's by mailbox, so basically they don't necessarily, some streets, because you know some streets will have one box versus the other.
Yeah.
So it drops it in the box and it goes in with the difference is it drops in when you guys get your penny saver or whatever those junk, not junk ad, but the ads, yours get trapped in all of that. So that's why they always tell you if you're mailing it out, don't use a regular postcard, use they give you like 7 certain sizes. And when you log in online, you can literally just click, and every mailbox will tell you how many of those are going to be dropped in. 500. It's not really like an even number per se because it's how many mailboxes it's per mailbox, but it does. And so they recommend you pay the extra like 7 cents a pop for the like rectangular size, so you stick out a little bit. But if you're sending regular postcards, they don't recommend that. You got to be at least something unique or bigger, and it's worth it. I think it's down to like 48 to 51 cents. Printed and mailed. That's the reason why those junk mails still keep coming to you, because it's cheaper than just postage.
And when you have the QR code, I mean, how many of you now, right, anytime you see a QR code, you're like, oh, let me check out what that is. You don't even know what that's for. So that's one of the things I thought was pretty cool on this. It's just a flat, what was black or orange QR code, and that went directly to HomeBot. How many of you have heard of HomeBot? So if you don't have HomeBot, Myra, myself, Gabby, are you on HomeBot? We can help you guys get set up for this. There's a free version and then there's a $25 version when you're partnered with a lender. So if you want that, go inside the app, connect with one of us, and we can get you set up on that. Guys, we're just in day 1. So imagine all the information you just took in for day 1. This is day 2. So this was all about video, right? Jason Pantana, who's our video guy. So you want to talk a little bit about day 2?
yeah, so they really focused on the SEO as far as Google My Business. 8.5 billion Google searches a day, 46% of those are with a local intent, and 93% of the local searches trigger the map path. So the map path is when you type something in, a business either has where their location is on the side of the screen. That is what is favored by Google My Business. Local justifications where they rank you higher among the other websites would be reviews, posts, your website traffic, including the blogs within your website. So really staying on top of your blogs and not just letting blogs sit there and stay stagnant. As far as the keyword categories, with the nouns and verbs and adjectives, these you want to include with the reviews as far as the name, occupation, location, and most of the time we type in best realtor in Las Vegas around me or best realtor near me. These adjectives right there, you want your clients to really emphasize using that in the reviews, so that would be triggered when people are searching.
And just to expand on that a little bit, because I'm big on the my Google business, yeah, you're exactly what he said. Your review should be like, you know, Angela Hutchins was the best realtor. She helped me do this. She's the best in Las Vegas. So you want to make sure those are in the review if you can. What Google actually does when they're searching those keywords, best, top, realtor, or however they write it in the search bar, is it pulls from reviews, but it also pulls from your website. So you also want to have like a blog or something on your website that says why you're the best realtor in Las Vegas, because it'll put you over other agents in the marketplace, even if they have more reviews than you or a higher rating, just because all the keywords match.
And then if you have, they said to rank your website and listings higher than Zillow, get your site indexed. Google analyzes the text, images, video, like Tyson mentioned, on your files, and on your site pages, stories, the information that it has. So this is a large database that Google searches when ranking websites. So just ask your website developer to ensure all IDX listing pages are enabled through Google indexing.
No, that was just pretty crazy to hear that on your website, if you don't get your website indexed, Google is not going to pick up that information. So you literally have to contact your website provider and have them make sure that the Google index is turned off, right? Or on. Yeah.
And they're running dynamic ads behind it.
Yeah, so how many of you have a Google My Business platform?
Did you set it up for us?
Yes.
Okay.
Why do you have it set up? Why did you set it up?
I just set it up, I just started to because I need to.
Can I answer this question? Because I push Google My Business pages on everybody I come in contact and talk with. For me, ever since I got started, well, it also happened because Zillow messed up my profile because I was in 2 different states working, and so now I can't access any of my information. So I never collected reviews from them. I'm big on collecting the reviews on Google Business because me personally, I'm not going to put my client's review on another brokerage's site. That just never made sense for me. But one thing I did on the Google My Business, that looking back hindsight was genius, but I was just trying to figure it out, is I changed my name. It's not just Tyson Roberts, because how much does someone type in Tyson Roberts? I put Las Vegas Homes for Sale, and then in parentheses, my name, my license number, and brokerage to keep it compliant. But the nice thing is I generate about 3,000 people just looking at my page. I've actually had another agent send me a screenshot where his wife was searching on Google for puppies for sale. And my whole business profile came up on the side because it took for sale. So I strongly encourage not only using the keywords and the reviews and everything, but in your business name too.
Just thinking from the consumer aspect.
For those of you who don't have Google My Business set up and you would like to get them set up, get with one of us Prosperity Lending loan officers. Angelique will help you guys go through that process. It is a valuable tool to have from a ranking standpoint, but also for visibility.
I was going to say, is that the one where they send the postcard and you have to verify?
Yeah, you get verified. It's a little bit of a process.
One thing you could actually do too with your My Google Business profile is become what's called verified. So they'll push you above other people. And what you have to do is you actually have to submit to a background check. You have to get the company's E&O insurance, but it's Google screened and verified. And if you actually go on and type in best realtor in Las Vegas, all the ones that come up are Google screened and verified. It's actually pretty easy to do, but it takes about a week for them to get back to you. But you just fill out some information, and they do run a background check on you.
How deep?
What?
How deep is it?
How many years?
How many years? What do you mean background? Like, if there's complaints against you, is that what the insurance information is for?
No, like criminal record.
Felony.
We're good. They can't open records, we're good.
All right, they also showed YouTube Rockstar. So you want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, so with her strategy was really oversaturating her YouTube channel, differentiating with different playlists, home tours, podcasts, interviews with local lenders, market updates, and just realizing that she is the expert for her consumers, and that any video that she doesn't put out, she's not doing her job for them. She's not informing them. She's not giving her best of her ability. So really, just taking advantage. And these are just some different, I would say, talk shows that have become popular on social media sites because of their catchy tagline. So these are some of the vertical videos and examples that they shared there. So looking up these on Instagram, you would find the name of their talk show, like The Weekender for Us, Broker Insight, Tom's Nuggets. So keeping it catchy and something to look forward to every week.
I think something to think about is YouTube is becoming the second search engine, right, above or below Google. Google's number one, YouTube would be number two, and they're the same, right? So people will go in to search YouTube for best community in Las Vegas, or best community in Summerlin, or whatever the case may be. So creating these types of videos and having a YouTube channel, one, that you can have this just stored so that it helps to build up your SEO, but two, imagine if you have a client who's looking for a referral or who's looking for an area in Summerlin and you did a video on the Willows. Could you send that video to them and say, hey, here's a video that I created specifically on the Willows, take a look at what it is. Right, that's one additional piece, free of charge. If you did sign up, Beta actually does the video package. He has them here. So you could have it completely produced for you, edited and everything, and then he places it right onto your YouTube channel.
And if you don't want to see me, they have the KCM app here, where you can film vertical videos right here, and then they provide market update script as well for you guys.
How many of you have KCM? Keeping Current Matters? Okay, so this is a new addition to that. It's the Real Talk. Super cool. If you, I have a hard time memorizing lines. It actually does a teleprompter on it. It has all of the information on the articles, and they send it out every single week. It is a higher subscription level, but it literally is like, you hold it here, it has all the teleprompting information. It's an article. It even adds in like one of the little snapshots of whatever they're trying to present or they're showcasing. So it gives some change in the dynamic of the video. It shows up vertical, and all you have to do is click it, save it, send it, publish it on any of your social media sites.
And if you're really serious about the video, they recommend it to really batch your content throughout the month. So if you're looking to produce 3 or 4 videos a week, so take Sunday off, just film 2 hours a day, and then you'll have a whole month's worth of content right there. And then you don't have to worry about it for the rest of the month. And that's what Shelly does as well. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool because they do, I think one guy said he does 10 hours in the whole month in creating content. And it's for the whole month of content for the following month. So he does basically like a couple hours a week.
And how often does he post?
He posts throughout
Daily?
the whole, however
But
many
daily?
videos it. Was it daily? I don't think it was daily. It was like.
Some do daily.
Yeah, some do daily.
Yeah.
To begin with, to oversaturate it, but he found that what was successful for him and the content he was distributing was 3 to 4 times.
So these were some ideas. I thought this was pretty cool, the pro tips. So this guy did a walkthrough inside of the new construction home and talked about some of the things that he would take his buyer through to pay attention to. Like, I think he had said there was something where the foam wasn't lined up on the window, and so it was something to keep an eye on for his client, right? Hey, you need to get more, insulation inside of this gap inside of the wall. He did this in like a minute, right? Just walked through the whole thing on his cell phone. So I thought that was cool for pro tip. How we did it, this was the guy that basically staged the house for his clients and got it ready for listing. That was super easy. And then they actually do listing videos now on vertical to go on inside of your reels. So that was something else that they shared as an idea. All right, this also, I know it sounds silly, but everybody gets so worried about, oh, well, nobody's going to care about me, or how do I show up on video? But your audience, the people who know, love, and trust you, are looking for who? You. And who does you better than? Nobody does you better than you. Cool. All right, multi-channel. Those are just the different areas of opportunities to actually expose yourself, your brand, different ways. How to be the expert. You want to go into Phil Jones, I think
Yeah, he's my favorite.
Okay. This is about lead generation and how, you want to talk about that?
Can I touch on this? So I don't remember how many of you guys actually raised your hand when we were talking about who does online leads and purchases them. This one was really, really interesting because they started talking about how they've been able to get a 6% conversion rate out of their internet leads. And what they found is they actually ran studies and kept track of all their numbers, and about 27% of the leads they closed were within, I think it was 0 to 3 months. Like they got it immediately within the first 3 months they had, and that's when they bought and sold a property. It was like another 15%, another 15%, but for, 3 to 6 months and then 6 to 12 months. I think it was like 26% of all the internet leads they closed, they had them and they were following up and marketing and sending emails and everything for over a year. So I see it all the time. People say, oh, these internet leads suck because they called it once and then never called it again. A lot of these top producers that are just killing it with internet leads, they're calling back to back. They're texting, they're emailing, they're following up. They have systems and organizing it, all their follow-up. So they go in this bucket and they get this drift.
Unless they say, hey, take me off, and then they'll take all that
It's interesting that it was on Wednesday and Thursdays.
Yeah.
To follow-ups.
Yeah.
Call theirs.
Yeah, this is one of their plans and how they work it out as far as their calls, and they shared this, if you guys remember, Opal, and he literally was chasing that girl all the time until she decided to date him. So I'm gonna share what ended up being. All right, so let's go to the last one. Here's a CMA day. This is a box that she does. She puts her CMAs inside of that box, which I thought was very cool.
Did I say yes to the address?
Yes. Yes to the address. Different, right? One of their pillars is also agent-to-agent referrals. How many of you get your business from other agents across the? Yeah. How do you get it? How do you do it? You got to go to networking events and be online and all those different things. All right. You want to share? This is day 3, so we're gonna wrap it up with day 3.
Yeah, so like when this guy came on and talked, I was enamored by him. I actually like bought his book immediately. He sat for an hour and a half and just such a polished speaker, much better than me. He went through like how to have conversations with your clients. I mean, they did like live objection role playing, and they had this guy that's like a top agent come through, and they said, okay, the scenario is, I'm scared to buy. I'm scared on what's going on with the market. And then the agent's just rattling off statistics and appreciation during the last recessions and everything. And it's like, no, that's not how you approach that. They want an arm over their shoulder. They want you to understand them. And so, I mean, I can't even begin to reiterate it, but he has so many good ways of changing words in your conversation and how big of a difference that makes and goes far with your clients. So I'd recommend buying that book immediately.
Yeah, I got that book as well.
Which one?
There's 3 of them.
Exactly what to say.
Exactly what to say. So it's almost like when you go through a whole presentation, you will say, do you have any questions? And he said, no, you shouldn't be asking that. You say, what questions do you have for me? Because if you say, do you have any questions, that means you didn't do your job correctly into relaying the information, and you are expecting them to. So you say, what questions do you have for me? Now the ball is in their court. And then the other thing that he did also was selling the pen. He literally grabbed somebody's pen and he's like, hey, how much, if you saw this at a table at a yard sale, how much would you pay for this pen? And people are like, 50 cents, $1, I would take it, whatever the case is. He's like, okay, so now what if I got this pen and I put it at Macy's and it was like in this like glass box or container? Now how much would you pay for it? He's like, okay, so let's top it off. He's like, it's just presentation and delivery. It makes a huge difference.
And that was in reference to how to sell your commission, right? Because so many people talk about, oh, we've got our discount agents, we've got all these different things, but at the end of the day, it's the commissions or whatever, bananas, right? And it's how you present it. I don't think he talked about it, but one way that one of the listing agents gets 7%, you want to show that?
Yeah, so this was pretty brilliant. The way he phrased it was just like, yes, I charge 7%. He's like, well, now 2% of that goes to marketing. So take that away, that's to marketing. And then he has this conversation, he's just like, well, so it's actually 5, we're gonna co-op the buyer 2.5 bananas. So I'm gonna get the same as the other buyer, 2.5 bananas. So he almost removes 2 bananas just right off the get. So the seller's just like, okay, that's for marketing, that's already set in stone for marketing. And then now it's a 5 banana list.
So this is something I thought was clever, right? So what does listen spell?
You want us to guess the acronym?
Silence. Oh. Yeah. So 80% of our job is to listen and be silent. 20% is to be able to respond. But like you had said, being helpful, putting your arm around them, understanding what they have going on. I think that was the last slide. What else? So what's your number one takeaway from the whole 3 days?
So don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good information that comes from these type of conferences or summits, but I'll save you, I've been to quite a few of them, I'll save you the 3 days, I'll save you the $500 you usually have to pay to sign up for these. Is at the end of the day, it all circles around one thing, is pick up your phone and call someone. Call your past clients. Call, get new business. You know, touch base with your sphere. Have conversation. Pick up the phone and call is what it always boils down to. Whether it's Tom Ferry, Mike Ferry, or a motivational speaker on sales, it's just pick up the phone.
I would say the biggest takeaway is just being committed and sticking to what you said you're going to do. If you literally just make 10 phone calls every single day, that's better than not making any calls at all. And, back to like this silence, you're listening when you're going to speak to somebody. You're not going to tell them, hey, I'm so amazing, I've won this many awards, I've been in the business for 20 years. Because you're there for them, you're not there for yourself. And that just, people are looking for somebody that's relatable. And that's why sometimes too, these videos you put out there, we're so self-critical and we're like, no, this is so bad, this is so bad. But sometimes our mistakes is what makes us human. And people, that connects us to other people because they're like, oh my God, I would do that too. So just be consistent and be yourself.
Hold yourself accountable and get an accountability partner if you need. And yeah, just really commit to 2 or 3 things that you want to apply. And I know this is a whole lot of information thrown at you guys, but just 2 or 3 things, whether it doesn't have to be video or whatever you're doing already, just really emphasize and commit to it. And just see where it goes in 16 months.
The PowerPoint, I'll send you all the PowerPoints. If you want something specific, let me know. We actually have the slides available as well that can dive deeper into the plans that they showed. They did a lot of case studies. But please give it up for Tyson, Myra, and Dana. Tyson has a goal of 100 listings in 100 days. He already got his 2. Yeah, if you guys have any questions on this, certainly reach out to one of us. We all have the slides. Again, for the football challenge, make sure that you reach out to one of your Prosperity Lending loan officers. Make sure you show up next week because we're going to be kicking that off, right? And with that, have an amazing week and a happy Labor Day. Thank you guys. Oh, wait, raffle. Sorry. And KK is doing a raffle.
Okay, guys, big winning booze.
I'm just stuck here.
Oh, good. You can do my scramble for me.
Is that a conflict of
One.
interest if I put money into it?
No, because you're just pressing. It's all legit. 1 to 75. Okay. Crown royal. Huh? 15 is PK. Of course. That's because she bought so many tickets.
I bought the ticket. I bought to have a nice.
She does. There you go. There's Patty. Okay. It's a pretty bottle. I know. I think it's cool.
It's actually like a tree root or something.
Oh, it's a tree root.
Don't quote me on that. It was
Okay, but it sounds, okay, number 34. 44. Hold on. Oh, it's TR. So don't forget, you guys, next week, bring those dollars, and all goes to American Cancer Society.
Oh, there's one in there.
Well,